We're recording. Hooray. Awesome. This is exciting. I'm excited. Super Hungry, the podcast. We're sitting here in the basement. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
So we're doing something new for this episode, kind of switching it up a little bit. It's the third time we've gone live, but this is the most intimate live space that we've done. And I'm here with Lady Ace Boogie. We're going to do something a little new, something kind of akin to sounds from a room. So if anybody from So Far Sounds sees or hears this, get in touch with Lady Ace Boogie to do an episode. But I've got a couple questions, and then she's going to do some songs, and then some more questions and a song, and questions, and then a song. And it's going to be really fun. So thank you all for being here. And I guess my first question for you, just so that everybody can kind of get to know you a little bit, is like, where are you from? What'd you do? How'd you get here?
Yeah. So I was born in Atlanta, Georgia, and I moved to Charleston, West Virginia when I was 3 years old. Lived there for about 10 years, and then we moved to Dayton, Ohio. So I spent kind of like half of my childhood in West Virginia and then the other half in Dayton, Ohio. And I've been in Grand Rapids for about 8 years now. I originally moved here with my former partner. She went to Grand Valley State.
Cool.
But what really kept me here was honestly the music community and the arts community. So
Yeah, it's amazing here. We just moved back in December from LA, and it's something that, like, I think that it's one of those that you kind of have to look a little bit to find it, but once you find it, you're like pleasantly surprised because there's so much bubbling and so much that people are doing
I got really
here.
lucky. I got really lucky. Like right when I started hitting the scene, it was really kind of like on the cusp. You know what I'm saying? And it was really starting to be more vibrant. People were calling like the new GR. Because something you mentioned earlier is there's not a lot of venues that reach out to hip hop artists. Well, I mean, this hip hop and mostly all the venues down in Grand Rapids. There needs to be more, but it's definitely getting there. So
That's good, because I think the only experience I had is when I was here in 2013, which was a couple years back now at this point. So I feel like there were some shows, but not, but also I grew up in Florida, so to kind of compare it to something that's like the little extra leg of Atlanta, which does there's so much there. So I think when I came in, I kind of was maybe just sort of like wanting there to be more, like always.
Yeah.
Bless you, by the way. This is a live show, people. Blessings happen sometimes. That's fine. So you said the music has kept you here.
Yeah.
What, since you've been Lady Ace Boogie, because obviously I can't imagine that's your birth name, but since you've been Lady Ace, what have how much have you've done some albums, you've done some, talk about that a little bit.
So when I first moved here, I was in 2010, I think. I spent like the first few years really like heavily involved in building my career at work. I worked for Cascade Engineering.
Cool.
So I wasn't really a part of the music scene. I didn't really come out a lot. Just worked. So I think it was 2013 was when I kind of made my debut into the scene. I went to an open mic called The Come Up that was hosted by Lisa Downey. And basically what she does is she gives artists the opportunity to sign up. And then if she likes you, then she'll reach out to you and have you open up for like a national artist or something.
That's
like that.
cool.
And so I did it once, and boom, I think it was like the next month I opened up for like Killer Mike it was Killer Mike, and I did a show with Elzai as well.
Wow.
So it was really, really, really dope to be able to be a part of that. So yeah, I mean, it's just I've been embraced in this community, and it's been like perfect ever since. I have no complaints.
That's really awesome. I guess just to sort of touch on a little bit of the journey, right? Like you mentioned it, you're like working full time too.
Yeah.
You still work for Cascade?
No, not anymore.
No, not anymore.
No, I don't work for Cascade anymore.
So what was that like, the day that you were able to be like, I can leave? This is going well.
Yeah,
like things are going well.
Actually, so when I left Cascade, I worked for Coca-Cola.
Oh, cool.
So I kind of went from a full-time job to another full-time job. I started a a creative company with my best friend, actually, John Longchamp. It's called Think 50/50.
Okay.
And we do like marketing coordination and brand management, and we make logos and websites and things like that.
Yeah.
So my background is specifically in project management, business solutions.
Wow.
So we kind of put our minds together and formed this business. And so when I left Cascade, the plan was to just do that full time and to do the music full time, but it didn't really work out that way. So I started working for Coca-Cola. I mean, quite frankly, if I could do the music full time and serve the community, that's what I would rather be doing.
Yeah.
But it costs a lot of money to make music, unfortunately.
Well, and what we were talking about earlier, though, is that like you're turning down shows at this point.
Yeah.
So it's not like
Yeah.
you're not always doing shows. It's
Yeah.
just that right now it's funny that you say that because like, and people that have listened to the podcast, the audience knows like we moved here in December to like open, like Snowball, which is like film and video, and it's been going really well. But then it like got to the point where it was like, I can't just do this anymore.
Yeah.
Now I have to sort of get work again. And it's like, you kind of have those moments where it's like you're opening up for Killer Mike and you're like, holy shit, this
Yeah.
is happening. Like, this is happening. Like, what is it that keeps you coming back, even though it's not cheap to make music, even though it's, it's not always opening up for Killer Mike. Sometimes it's going and doing a full week and then coming and doing a show and then doing a Saturday show and then a Sunday show and then driving back late and getting your ass up on a Monday morning and going to work.
Oh, man. So last summer, I mean, that's all we did. Orlando, Dean, myself, J-Rob, Days. I mean, we played well over, I'm going to say 20 shows last summer. We did a lot of traveling. It was really fun. All of them were paid shows, which made it even better.
Where's that rap horn?
Exactly. But like, so this year it's the total opposite. Like like you mentioned, I've been turning down shows because, I feel like I've kind of made my mark, in Grand Rapids.
Right.
And I don't want, if people are going to come out and listen and buy the music and share an experience, I want to give them something to leave with, not the same thing over and over again. You know what I mean?
Right.
So for me, it's like really, taking a step back, focusing on recording the music, and then, doing shows here and there. But right now my focus is really stepping outside of, the region and doing shows, elsewhere right
That's
now.
cool.
So, yeah, but it's tough. Like sometimes I, just want to just make the music and not put it out,
Right.
and I do shows. But then like I get this, it's like inside of me, it's just a natural feeling to want to be in front of people. And
Well, absolutely, because there's two sides to the coin of making art. You're not making it in a vacuum to sit in a room for no one to see or hear, right?
Yeah.
You make a painting, you make a film, you make an album to share it.
Yeah.
That's the huge part of it
Yeah.
is you want to connect, with the audience too. So like, I definitely can understand that point of view where you're not wanting to like oversaturate, your hometown. Do you think that the audiences here are different than other places? Like, do you feel like they're as receptive or? Because like, let's be honest. Like, we're all
Honest
friends.
moment.
We're all friends in this room. Everyone can be honest. We live in the Midwest, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of, if you fall off of any sort of linear spectrum, I guess, sometimes you can scare people, or it can be something that takes a while to, for people to catch on to.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm always curious to know how people are received here versus other places, because like, sometimes you can't do the same material. Comedians can't do the same material that they do in LA here.
Right.
It's the same kind of thing. Like, do you feel like there's a difference ever?
For myself, we try to mix it up a lot. Like every show that we do, we mix it up. I'm going to take back what I said earlier when I said I don't have any complaints about the music scene.
I was waiting.
Because one of the things that I've been very vocal about, and I had to kind of step outside of myself to realize this, because I was actually kind of part of the problem, is that Grand Rapids venues do not book artists outside of the feel good music type of artists.
Right.
You know what I mean? And hip hop is hip hop. All because you're not comfortable with it, doesn't mean you can't give it a platform. You know what I'm saying? And so,
I mean, a lot of people can argue that's the origins of hip hop
Yeah.
is uncomfortable needing a platform.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep,
That's why
exactly.
it started when it did,
Yeah. That's my biggest issue. I mean, I think it's getting a little better. I think people are starting to open up more like alternative venues, like the workshop. I mean, we had the Deaf House. The Deaf House was really dope, but you know, I had a lot of code issues and a lot of code issues. For anybody that's been to the Deaf House,
Will's laughing because that's like every building in Grand Rapids.
But shout out to those guys that tried to take that problem and come up with a solution, because it is a problem. I mean, even with the publications in West Michigan, they don't show a lot of love to artists outside of, you know, unfortunately. I'm going to stick my foot in my mouth when I say this, because I do think that I've earned my position. I've worked really hard.
I think you're really well respected in the community, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But one thing I don't do is pander to people with those type of mentalities.
Right.
But it's a fine line, though, because you don't know. I mean, you have to really be wise enough to know who's been genuine and who just wants to use you as this token artist. You know what I mean? So that's been a struggle for me this year, is really taking really great opportunities and making sure that I'm getting those opportunities because of the work that I put in and because I'm good at what I do, and not because they're comfortable with Lady Ace Boogie's music. Because quite frankly, the album that I'm working on now is the total opposite from feel good music. It's still great music for me, but it's not. I'm not in that same mental space. So, and that's what writing is all about.
Well, and I think that that's a good place to sort of tease for right now, because we're going to do some songs. But like I do, and just so that people can be thinking about it, and we'll lead into this when we come back. But you came out with a video last year called Hands Up, Don't Shoot that obviously speaks to the Black Lives Matter movement and police brutality and the subject of that in this country that is very kind of heavy in everybody's minds and in a lot of the communities, but also is marginalized in a way that some communities aren't actually not only not accepting it, but they're not even acknowledging it as a problem. Yeah. So I want to talk to you more about that when we come back, about the reception of the video in town, how you were able to use that sort of as a platform for different festivals and, you know, organizations, and sort of where that's going to lead into with the new album.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right. So we'll keep on recording, I think.
Can we hit maybe one or two of these lights, maybe? Yeah. So this song right here hasn't been released yet. It's actually going to be the first song that I release. I just wrapped up the video. I'm really excited about it. I gave you all of me. I gave you all my love. I gave you everything you asked me for. But that wasn't enough. You wanted more and more. When times got hard, you didn't stay. You walked up out that door. You said you loved me, but you only love yourself. You love the thought of me. You can love anyone else, but that's okay though. I'm gonna be alright, even though I know that you love is so hard to find. Want somebody out? Want somebody out? Want somebody out? Want somebody out? Need somebody to love somebody. Want somebody out? Need somebody out? Want somebody out? Want somebody to love me for me? Love me for me? Love me for me? Oh, love. Love me for me? Love me for me? Love me for me? Oh, love. Love my past, love my body, love my mind, love my family, love my heart, love my scars, love my pain, love my heart, love me hard, love me strong, love me even when I'm wrong, love me no conditions, you should love me unconditional. Words of affirmation, need your love, your grace, your patience. I ain't throwing shade, I'm telling you what I need, yeah, but that's okay though. I'm gonna be alright, even though I know that true love is so hard to find. Listen. Love me for me, love me for me, love me for me, oh love. Love me for me, love me for me, love me for me, oh love. Thank you. song is actually featuring an artist by the name of Days. There's actually a third verse to that. He's on tour right now, so he wasn't able to be here, but he's really awesome. He's an awesome dude. Really awesome. Shout out to Orlando, man, and Dean Martian. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. Love Me For Me.
I think you have a Drake vibe because you do this thing where you rap and then you're like really smooth with your vocals, and it's not just like a rapper who's like trying to sing, because like love T-Pain, but like even with his tiny desk, right, he's still, it's a talk rap, it's a talk sing. You don't do that. You were very vocal. So like what was the impetus, I guess, for being like, oh, I'm going to mix it up vocally? Like, it's not just going to be one or the other. Because that, I think, is really powerful, because where typically on a song like what you just did, there would have been a second vocalist maybe doing it. It's you. Yeah. And it's you, like, I can hear your breath change almost when you're singing versus the rapping. And so, like, I'm just so curious, like, when did that all start?
I grew up wanting to be a singer.
Really?
But I listened to a lot. I grew up on rock and roll, heavy metal, country music. I mean, I lived in Charleston, West Virginia.
I was going to say West Virginia, right?
Most of my friends were kind of rednecks. I love you guys, though. So, I mean, that's kind of like, you know, and then Michael Jackson. I love Michael Jackson. I always wanted to be Michael Jackson. Like, people would pay me to, like, put on these sunglasses and dance and sing Michael Jackson. I don't know if I was good at it, but
that's so
obviously
funny.
I wasn't.
How old were you?
Dude, like 10.
You were a 10-year-old Michael Jackson impersonator.
Yeah. So, and plus I was their only like black friend, and you know, I had dance moves, so that's a thing. That's an actual real thing. I can't dance to save a lick now. Like I can't dance at all. But what was the question? You asked me what were the singing part.
Yeah, when did that kind of come in with the rapping at the same time?
Let me see. I've kind of always, like, I'm really awkward when it comes to singing. I don't think I'm that great at it. I think I'm decent. And this is me being straight honest. I'm not like trying to
disagree.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I'm always really awkward. Like I would think of a song, or I'd write a song, and then I would go in the studio, and I would be intimidated. I don't know why. So it took me a while to really get comfortable recording singing in the studio.
That's cool.
So I mean, really, it was just a matter of like people telling me like, "Yo, just do it."
Yeah.
The most recent inspiration behind doing a song with all singing, Dante Cope. I don't know if you guys know Dante Cope, really dope artist in Grand Rapids. We have this like little fake beef thing. We actually really love each other. But he's just always saying like, dude, you need to sing more. You need to sing more. You need to sing more. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, man. You know.
Well, he was right. So.
So that was the motivation really behind "Love Me For Me." And then I was like, I just got through like a really bad breakup. And so that song really like stemmed from that.
Yeah. So going back to a little bit about what we were talking about before you performed the songs, you had a video come out last year called "Hands Up, Don't Shoot," and that was a really controversial ish, right? Yeah. Like that was kind of a big deal coming out. Like I remember seeing it in LA because I was in LA when it dropped, but it reminded me in a way of sort of like, did you guys see the oh my God, and now I'm gonna blank. No, not Kendrick. It's the other one. The two guys. Yes, thank you. The Run the Jewels video for Close Your Eyes and Count to Fuck. Do you remember that one?
No, I've never seen it.
I'll send you a link later, but it had that same visceral sort of feel to it, and I just want to know, first of all, what was it like to sort of take that on, knowing that it was probably going to be controversial, and then what was it like in and around the aftermath when you were having to have people sort of like, even people that are like our mutual friend Liz, who kind of was like, yeah, I kind of had to like vouch for why this video was important to show at certain events. Like, what was that? So
the actual concept of the video was totally different than what we actually put out. We recorded it, and I sat back and I watched it over and over again, and I just, the visuals did not, they were not conducive to the message. It was some powerful footage, but the song is just so powerful. I just didn't feel like it represented the song very well. So we ended up shooting it completely over, actually. And shout out to Andy Miller. He's amazing. like one of the nicest guys in the world to work with. The biggest controversial thing with the video was the officer. We had an actor play an officer. He was dressed up, and we were face to face with this officer, like rapping our lyrics or spitting our lyrics. And it was actually snowing too, so it was very cold. But I mean, this guy, to be able to say those words and him stand there, we knew that people would probably take it as like, oh, this isn't a one-sided thing. You know what I mean? But we had to stay focused in the sense of we're speaking our truth. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, if you can't relate to it, that's understandable, but you got to respect it, But it was well received. I mean, there was a few like racist comments, but that's expected.
Hello, internet.
Yeah, that's expected. But the local publications, like people, the fans, they loved it, and I'm really, really proud of that song and that video.
I think you should be. I think that's really
Thank
awesome. Cool. So maybe you want to go into another song?
Yeah. All right, we ready? Yo, now tell me how can I do better if I claim to be the best when I'm more interested in trying to be most different from the rest. Got some things up on my chest, think it's time to let them go, cause I think you cats forgot you gotta crawl before you go. And I ain't stopping till it's over, and I get my point across. Even then I ain't gonna stop, no I ain't gonna stop until I'm gone. Getting gone, no longer breathing, I got bars for every season. Lady Ace, show you the meaning, I spit fire for a reason. Hi, hey, what you here for? You say you all about them dollars, but you forget to be a sister, mother, brother, father. And I ain't a conscious rapper, but I'm conscious when I rap, cause everything I say I do, best believe I do just that. And I ain't about that life won't get you far. All you care about is money, clothes, and the fancy cars. And you know who you are, hey, step your fans up. Say you getting money, homie, go on, get your fans up. Hey, yep, I'm talking about you. You out here putting out that garbage, got the nerve to call it music. Listen, homie, step your bars up. Put the fancy cars up. Give the people something they feel they can be a part of. You be so exclusive, but music so inclusive. Talking about yourself, that means that no one is included. Keeping the truth secluded, meaning you're so deluded. And all you rappers sound the same, why they're not diluted. Man, I'm sick of these rappers, half of y'all really actors. Only in it for money, none of y'all got the passion. So shout out to the underground, that's where you can find me. Speak the truth in the booth, won't let the label define me. LAB, that's who I be, need the people behind me. Reaching for the stars and keep positive peeps around me. I don't need a hug, I gave you a 32. This is real hip hop, let the DJ do what it do, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, I tell them I don't need a hook, I don't need a hook, I don't need a hook, no, I don't need a hook. Hey, I'm going in, I'm going in, I'm going in, I'm going in. Say, I don't need a hook, no, I don't need a hook, no, I don't need a hook, no, I don't need a hook. Hey, I'm going in, I'm going in, I'm going in, I'm going in, LAB. Yeah. Oh man, give it up for Orlando, guys. DJ D. Marshall, like. I honestly, I can't imagine ever been on stage without these guys. Like, when I'm not, which is very rare, I feel, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people talk about the artist, which is cool, but these type of cats on stage with you, they make the music come alive, and that's what it's all about, so.
Well, they're working artists too. I mean,
absolutely.
DJ's going to be in Detroit at 1:30 this morning for a set, and then, working with all those different bands. I mean, just to throw you guys both a question, what's it like to be a touring DJ and a touring drummer for hire? Like, what is that like?
Man, it's just as strenuous as being any artist. You just if you put in the work, you get the results. The harder I work, the more opportunities I see spread out you know, not just here. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I love it. You know, it feeds my motivation to, because, like, I get a better response not here. You know what I'm saying? Every time I go out and on tour, people are like, bro, where are you from? Why aren't you here? I'm like, hey, man, I don't know. I'm just hanging out. Happy to be here, you know?
That's such a good impression of other people. Where are you from?
Like I literally got off the spaceship.
It's tough, man. I mean, working. I'm a father. I got 3. It's kind of no sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, because we're coordinating rehearsals with. Even June 3rd for Local First. I got 2 gigs that day. We're supposed to have one the day before at the Performing Arts Festival. So taking all the different artists and trying to find schedules for rehearsals. Yeah. Luckily, I don't really need a whole lot of sleep. Give me
that's
4
good.
or 5, and I'm good out here. So but it's a lot of reward to it as well, because we get to work with some really dope artists. So.
Yeah.
And Dean, I love Dean too. Me and Dean been playing together with different bands for probably about 4 years now. It seems like so.
Aw, friends.
Yep, friends.
That's so cute.
You know what's crazy? Like they posted the promoters for the Lamplight Music Festival
Yeah.
posted like, who do you guys want to see? And I personally would like to see Orlando and DJ D Marsh and do a duo performance, because
Yeah.
like when we do like festivals and stuff, like I'll say, hey guys, like the first 10 minutes just jam out. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
last 10 minutes jam out, because they're just so incredibly dope, you know, and I'm just always in like, you know, like,
We just feed off each other.
these guys are my friends.
Because I'm a drummer too, so like the timing's there with us. We float with each other instead of like, I'm trying to be on beat. No, just let the beat happen and you'll be all right.
But see, that's so, and that kind of could lead into a question too, because like oftentimes as a rapper, you know, you're like you're a solo artist, right? You're not like necessarily a part of a band, but you do have these collaborators that you work with consistently. Like, do you think there's more of a freedom to that than being in something that's maybe like not one note, obviously, because with a band you can always pull a Linkin Park and like switch up the game like they're doing now. But like, I think maybe when I interview comedians, a lot of times they'll kind of say like, when you're a stand-up, it's interesting because it's harder, but it's better because all the laughs are your own, right?
Sure.
Like you're not on a team, you're not improvising with like a team, but all your laughs are yours. So I feel like you're interesting because you are a solo artist, but you do collaborate so much. So what do you think the pros are of being a solo artist, but then how do you like to balance that with collaborating?
For sure. So just about every show that you'll see me at, I'll typically have, like, in addition to these 2 guys, artists like vocalists come out and do songs, like whether it's another rapper or a singer or whatever. I always have special guests on my
That's
set,
cool.
because like, and I talk about it all the time, like, you know, like being able to share the stage with people that love this just as much as I do is the most rewarding thing. Like,
Yeah.
And then to see them so well received, it's just like always like a little proud moment, you know, like
Yeah.
you know. So recently, I'm really like stepping out of the box, which my next album is going to be titled "Don't Box Me In."
Oh, cool.
And then the title track to that, I collaborated with Collab. He's an R&B singer, really dope. This dude just got back from like a national tour, so he's like
That's awesome.
everywhere. It was like 13 states in like 10 days. How did that go? How did that work?
23 cities, 20 days.
Oh, my bad.
She cut it in half. Yeah.
Whoa.
He said, double that.
And I listened to his album, and his album is just amazing, and so we kind of really started a friendship first, and that's usually like the type of person that I am. Like a lot of people want to collaborate with the music, but if I can't build with you,
Right.
laugh with you, talk, have a conversation with you, then I'm not really interested in doing any music, you know.
Yeah.
And so we kind of became friends, and then like she started coming to my house more and started playing a beat from the 7th, which is a part of AGL. Yeah, they're really dope. And this is my first time working with the 7th as a producer, so I'm working with different producers, different artists, and this title track, is insane.
Yeah.
Yes. It is insane. It's so dope. It's different. And then that just speaks to stepping outside of my comfort zone and mixing it up a little bit, working
Yeah.
with artists that I probably would necessarily not work with just because the genres don't really, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
like he does R&B, I do hip hop, but at the same time, like it's so different. The
Yeah.
content's different. But we have a lot in common. And so we were able to build on that and create something amazing out of it. So I'm really excited. We're actually going to be shooting that video, I think, in 2 weeks. So that's going to be
fun.
really fun. Andy Miller's going to shoot that one.
If
so.
you need help, let me know.
Okay.
Because all these videos, I'm like, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
I'll
This
come
one
hang
actually is going to be really fun. It's going to be very slapstick, like comedy,
Oh,
kung fu.
cool.
Like it's going to be crazy.
You're going to be doing it all?
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So
That's awesome.
I'm excited. So collaborating with artists is that I could build with on a personal level is that's my motto. Yeah. Yeah. I go hard, I grind hard, and you can't deny that I'm working. Some boss hard, I shine hard, every beat I'm on, I'm working. Don't mention me unless you mention me with the best because I earned it. Don't say my name unless you say my name with a little respect up on it. Hold up, I ain't gonna say it no more. You ain't even close to the level where I'm on. Wanna learn me, better take you a seat. Get up in the bed and take those notes. Wanna do me like I do me? Better wait in line and wait your turn. High off life, I love my life. I fly high, call me a drone. Levels, LA to the DY, AC to the E. B-O, then another O, G-I to the E. Hello, shake things up like Jello. When a few boys at the homeboy single. Put in work, gotta grind every day though. Bar so hot, you can call me Fuego. Move to the left, y'all just in the way though. F-top 5, I ain't tripping as a Fuego. Flavor of the month, I'm the flavor every day though. Y'all count like brothers count this pesos, yeah. Move to the left. Just move to the left, ayy. Just move to the left. Y'all count those likes. But I'm doing this for the people, you know what I'm saying? Gotta do it for the people. Yeah. Yeah. Just listen to the words. Yeah, yeah, yeah.